Well, that was bizarre. But a welcome back.
Oh,
You know what? That seems about right. You know, I think that's, you start this thing and all of a sudden those in the know kind of hit
They
their
know.
buttons and stuff like that. So now they're taping. Guys, we're back.
woo!
Have you seen this? It's friggin' back. First time this summer. And I gotta tell you, there's something going on here, guys. Unfortunately, the main guy in charge, Daniel, the guy in the know, the guy with his ear to the ground when it comes to entertainment television news, is missing. He is no longer here. We have no idea what happened.
Daniel?
Poor Dave has cried himself to sleep nigh on the last 3 weeks. Get over it, buddy. Well, you know what? You may cry yourself to sleep. Who knows what's happening to him? It could be, Mickey Mouse. He's been saying some shit about certain moonlit Marvel property.
Careful.
Sound cool. I didn't want to say. I didn't get into specifics at all.
You would never.
He's also, only just started watching Stranger Things. So maybe it's a Netflix thing. Somebody's got him. And it's not like they're asking for ransom money or anything. It's not like we pay it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's get real. It's not like we pay it. But someone's got him. Be in here.
Someone has him, and I don't like having to be on camera. So if you know where Daniel is, please tweet at us and help us find Daniel. Knock on Disney's door, knock on the Duffer Brothers' doors, and try and see who took him. Who took Daniel?
Who took Daniel? It's a mystery that may never be solved. Let's face it. They probably have him in some ditch somewhere. I don't know.
Oh my goodness! Don't say that. There's so many ditches in Quebec.
They may have Netflix could have put him in the Upside Down. Maybe he's with Vecna. Maybe he is Vecna. They didn't tell you who Vecna was in this last series, did? Oh, they did. What?
Was that Daniel?
What?
Was that Daniel, or did my lights just flicker?
Let's get back to that. Guys! It's Rob the Snark here, and we got, in corporal form, our behind-the-scenes ghost, Dave Lees, is on camera now.
I am here from the Upside Down, filling in for Daniel. Little did you know that the production booth that I'm usually in is in the Upside Down, but
I knew it.
I've been brought here to fill in because the show must go on.
Eventually, yes. The show eventually must go on. So we're going to try our best. The big part of the show's currently kidnapped. And, face it, let's hope he's being tortured. At least that's a reason. That's a good reason for him not to be here.
I hope he's watching some TV.
I can forgive him if he's being tortured. Anyways. Okay, so we got, it's not like television news stopped, Dave. In fact, some of its biggest news happened just today. What? Just in time for us. Like, they were going to hold off. They were saying, guys, we're probably going to do the Emmy announcements Thursday, Friday. That's what I want. Or Tuesday. Tuesday works. Yeah, it works. Tuesday works.
Tuesday works great.
Tuesday works just fine. Oh, my God. All right. I hope that was a fly or something like that. And I don't know why you're smacking your own camera. But
there was don't worry about it.
I don't want to know. Okay. So I don't know if we have a list or anything like that.
I have a list open here.
Okay.
Obviously, we can't go through them all because that would just be me reading a list.
Yeah. Plus, the TV movies and stuff like that don't count.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion. Who cares?
But some of the big winners this season were things like Squid Game and Succession just cleaned up, which great. Succession, I think, got something like 25, 24 nods this year. And I was really excited it wasn't until the Emmy started coming out that I realized just how much stuff had happened this year. I had completely forgotten about Yellow Jackets, which was something I really enjoyed earlier on in the year. Euphoria is obviously still going on. Ozark, Better Call Saul. Oh, just what a time.
What a time. Barry, such a good season of Barry. What else? What else was out there? Listen, I'm going to start with the thing that made me, I think, happiest, and that was in, I believe it's like the reality competition.
Oh my God. I know what you're going to say, and I'm very excited. Go ahead.
When we started this show, we talked about the 10 things or whatever we liked most on television. And I believe this one came in at number 8 or number 9 for me. And this is all time, guys. Nailed It has been given an Emmy nomination. Nailed it. So happy. I'm so happy.
I saw that and I was immediately so happy. I kept reading and I was like, good for Netflix, good for Nailed It for getting nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah.
But we just had 2 of the best seasons of Survivor in a long time. Why is Survivor not nominated for an Emmy? But it's so exciting and you know what? I would love Nailed It to win Best Competition Show.
Yeah, because fantastic.
It is legitimately a show every time that I see coming soon to Netflix, Nailed It. I'm like, clear out a weekend. That's what we're watching.
It's my all-time favorite show to watch on a plane. I think that's a weird stat, but it is. It's when you would come out, like, especially like if you're traveling around Christmas time, they put out like that holiday season. They put out one holiday season for whatever reason. So I'll just download it again and rewatch again, and that's always funny. Every single time. You know it's coming. You know it's not going to be good. And that's what makes it so great. It's
a show that the people on it aren't taking it seriously, so you shouldn't take it seriously.
Even Jacques doesn't take it seriously.
No. Every time Nicole is like sexually harassing Wes, I love it. Wes.
So good.
It's such a fantastic running joke. And like my favorite episode was when Jason Mantzoukas was the guest host, because his energy with Nicole's that was just a fever dream of 22 minutes.
100%. And also, there's that fear, there's that danger thing, because even a whiff of egg can cause that man to die.
Yeah.
And that's legit. He has such a huge egg allergy that just even like I think a hint of it can can kill him. So it is pretty crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big egg allergy.
Wow.
The problem with Nailed It is I think it's every other show it's up against, I believe, has won the Emmy for reality. I know Amazing Race is one. I know Top Chef's one. I'm pretty sure RuPaul's Drag Race is one. The Voice. I don't know if that's right. I want to watch that.
Legitimately, I had no idea The Voice was even still on.
No kidding.
And I was like, how did that show? How does that still exist?
I don't know. How is Kelly Clarkson on that show?
Kelly Clarkson's on that show?
Yeah, she was in the little snip or whatever. Like they're showing like the little the clip or whatever when they announced the show or whatever. Kelly Clarkson's there. Like, Kelly Clarkson.
That's great. I don't know. I don't know how The Voice is getting nominated, but come on, it's Nailed It's time, guys.
It's Nailed It time.
God
damn it. And maybe they'll put out some more goddamn seasons of this thing too. It seems like it's taking too long in between Nailed It series, if you ask me. Why don't they do it like twice a year?
Well, it can't be that expensive. When did Nailed It start? Like 2019, and there's been 5.
Must have been before that.
I'm gonna check that right now, because I felt like there was so much Nailed It fast.
I think they did like the 3 seasons, including the holiday season. Took like a year-long break, and did season 4, but I don't think they've done a season 5 of the regular series, have they?
You know what? I might be.
So.
No, there are 6 seasons of Nailed It.
Does that include? And that's including the holiday season.
Not including the holidays.
Ooh.
Because there's the Double Trouble season.
Oh right, yes.
Give me a yeah.
Oh boy.
So there's like a lot of Nailed It, and I'm terrible. This is what I usually do behind the scenes, and now you guys have to watch me do it.
Yeah. You know what? We're breaking the fourth wall here.
2018.
Yeah.
So there's been 6 mainline series since 2016 or 2018, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also been 2 spin-off seasons and a Mexican version.
I watched the Mexican version. It's pretty good. You know, it isn't quite.
Is it really?
Yeah. I refuse to watch it with subtitles. So yeah. I don't understand the goddamn word.
Why don't you want to watch with subtitles?
I thought it'd be funnier, and it probably was.
Probably.
Yeah, I can make up my own thing. It's like, I forget what they say, like gotcha or something.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like that tastes like shit. Oh.
Oh boy. Other things that I'm excited to see getting a lot of love. Obviously, Ted Lasso got a lot of love, which was not surprising because that's a straight show.
I've been watching that with my buddy, so just wait for him to come over. So we're, I think, midway through the 2nd season now.
It's really good.
I love it. I love every episode. Every episode's been great.
But between that and oh my god, what's it? I just not Succession. It's Severance. Between that and Ted Lasso and Severance, Apple TV is really killing it right now with their television game.
And there's a few shows that I want to see. Like I For All Mankind, I have to see that show. There's a new show called Blackbird with Taron Egerton in it.
Oh, that looks
story. That looks fucking good.
That looks really good.
Who else? Like God. The one with the guy from Detroiters and Feet. God damn. The After Party.
Yes.
I need to see that too. But there's so much television.
There's so much. Not to mention, like, all the amazing limited series that we got that I completely like. Dope Sick, which was something I'd watch and I really love.
Fantastic.
So good.
Michael Keaton, so
good. The Dropout, which I haven't got to yet, but I have a friend who's like, I love that show.
Right.
And then The White Lotus, like, that was a fantastic show.
That's another one that's on my list. Under the Banner of Heaven, I've heard things about. There's so many.
About White Lotus, I know you're a Survivor fan. Do you know who wrote White Lotus?
I'll say, what's his name that wrote Orange County? It's the only writer I could think of.
Mike White from David versus Goliath.
Right.
Yeah. I know if he wrote Orange County. I'm so bad at there's a reason I don't. There's a reason I'm behind the scenes most of the time. All right.
Yeah.
Where's Dan? Why is it Dan here?
Talk to Disney. That's a good thing to do. It's like, may we please have our friend back? He says, friend? He says, yeah, we get it. Come on.
We get it.
We get it.
But yeah, I love the last one I wanted to bring up was Sandra Oh in Killing Eve. That was a show a friend of mine just recommended to me this year, and I just ran straight through it, and I was like, Sandra Oh, what a Canadian treasure.
Yeah, good old Ottawanian. Is that how you say it? Sandra Oh. I like the comedic best actor in a comedy series. I believe 3 or 4 of them used to be affiliated with Saturday Night Live at one point.
We got Bill Hader, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Jason Sudeikis.
Almost all of them.
Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, everyone except for Nicholas Hoult and Donald Glover.
Right. God damn.
God,
killing it. But Steve Martin and Martin Short being nominated for the same category, I think, just canceled each other out.
Probably that's gonna split the votes. Also, I think Jason Mantzoukas or Donald Glover is just gonna run away with that.
I would love it if Jason Mantzoukas did. I have a feeling if that Sudeikis might have something to say. Sudeikis might have something to say about that.
Mantzoukas just comes in.
Bill Hader, like, did such a good job on Barry, but I think it was more like the show on the whole that was so good. I don't think it was down to any one performance. I'm surprised there wasn't like a supporting actor role for NoHo Hank, the guy who plays NoHo Hank.
Oh yeah, I could never remember what that guy's name is.
No, I just call him NoHo Hank. Everyone knows that way.
Yeah,
there isn't another one.
No, that's true. And then, great to see Stranger Things popping in there. Speaking
like that, Speaking of that, but just quickly, with Squid Game also being there, and Severance, and Stranger Things, like 3 of my favorite things I've watched in the last year by far. Yeah. I love Severance. I fucking love it.
Severance is so good.
I love Stranger Things. And Squid Game, I was so impressed. Like, that was the one thing when we started the show. It's like, well, I don't want to watch anything too scary and stuff like that, but I kept thinking it was like this horror show. I mean, guys, I was a big boy, and I only peed myself to sleep twice.
Capitalism is very scary, Rob.
Ooh, don't get me started. But Stranger Things gets an Emmy nomination for Best Picture, or Best Picture. Drama.
To be fair,
for Best Drama.
Length of episodes.
By the end. Oh my god.
Length of episodes, that could be Best Picture.
Apocalypse now. 2.5 hours. Anyways, Stranger Things, season 4. I'm on record thinking it's the best season they've done. It's my favorite season. I was like 4-1-3-2, I believe is my ranking.
I'm probably 1-4-2-3. I did not love season 3, but I did. I think it's mostly just because I think you could have made season 2 and 3 just one big season instead of like stretching out all the Mind Flayer stuff. But I really did like season 4. My only hang up with it is every time they went to Russia, I was like, "Why are we in Russia? No, I hate this."
It takes you out of it for sure. That is the hang up about the season. And, Hopper and Eleven being in one scene together, the entire series.
Yeah.
One scene.
But not only that.
I think it's pretty irresponsible that they didn't call. That they just showed up.
That is crazy. That, like, when you get to that final scene and everyone's like, and we've been away, and Eleven's like, asks Joyce, how was your conference? It's like, yeah, that's right. They don't know. No, so much shit has happened to everybody. Like, everyone independently, like Mike and everyone was fighting the government while Lucas and all the teenagers were fighting Vecna, while the adults were fighting the Russian government and also a Demogorgon. And it's like, what is going on? That must have been a very long conversation when they all got back. You're like, hey, guys, let me tell you what I did this summer. And they're like, oh, you're going to want to hear my story first.
Well, it was an Empire Strikes Back season, right? They had the entire group split up differently, and they all had their own story or whatever, and then coming together at the very, very end. Like that Russians. That should not have taken so long. If they wanted to do that whole thing, great. Go in, get them out or whatever, perfect. And have them come back for a couple episodes at least. You didn't have to have the whole thing there. It was fun to see him cut off Demogorgon's limbs with the sword of Conan the Barbarian. That was fun.
Yeah. My buddy pointed that out to me. He was like, yeah, it was Conan's sword. I was like, that's awesome. And I'm like, was one Russian guard just like a really big Conan fan? And that's why it was in the chest of weapons. It's like, I got this from work. I don't do accents.
No, that was perfect.
Thank
That
you.
was perfect.
It was a German guy pretending to be Russian.
I would have said Austrian.
Yeah, you know. But I loved all the stuff that they did with Vecna and the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Everything that happened in Hawkins this season, I really, really loved.
What was fun for me was when we were explaining this out to the man who shall not be named because he's been kidnapped by a powerful entertainment conglomerate.
Of course.
Asked me to sell him on the show, like the elevator pitch here on the show. And I said, it's like if the Goonies met A Nightmare on Elm Street met Stand By Me. And I was on the goddamn nose, especially about the Nightmare on Elm Street, but holy shit.
Yeah.
That was direct. Unbelievable.
How great is it that they actually got him to cameo?
And he was good.
He was so good as
Victor Creel.
Victor Creel, there we go. I was like, he was so good, and it really helped bring home the horror elements of the show. Because usually I don't like horror stuff, and I'm like, oh no, too spooky.
Well, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, Rob, this is why we get along. And every time, but like having him there, and I was like, oh man, this is a serious deal. Freddy Krueger is telling me that this is no good, and he's no good. Because I hated every time people's bones were snapping and their eyes started to pop. I hate carrots. Whenever carrots. Oh, gross. Whenever anything happens with like eyes, I hate it. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before, I think.
That is like
we talked about this eye thing before.
I just can't.
Eye things happen.
Yeah. That was like Vecna's main thing. It's like, yes, I got to break all your bones. Why am I doing an accent?
That's a pretty good German accent. I don't think that's Vecna's accent.
No, but every time he's like, I'm gonna break all your bones and then I'm gonna pop your eyes. And I'm like, we could just break the bones. We don't need to pop the eyes. Like that's a little much, guy.
How about you give him a sleeping pill and he can go to sleep? Whatever. That's all you need to do. But yeah, did you notice like the words coming out of his mouth were so much like what Billy was saying in season 3 and stuff like that? Like, try and keep very still. It's all gonna be over. It'll all be over soon.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! Now I get it.
It's. I wonder at what point in development they decided to make like number 1 the ultimate big bad of the show, because it's naming 1111 obviously like leaves room for so many other characters to come through, like one, and we met some of the other ones last season or in season 2 or 3.
Something we don't need to talk about anymore.
Well, apparently, we're getting spin-off shows. So, but I don't, but I want, they obviously didn't have the idea of this way back when, but I wonder if in like season 2 or 3, they're like, got it. There's a guy and he's doing all this shit. Because it's just so smart and it works so well when you go back and examine previous seasons that you want to believe that
was retconned. I can tell you, this does not feel like something that was retconned. This doesn't feel like a Star Wars thing where they say one thing, it's like, oh, we got them all mapped out, and then all of a sudden, they're brother and sister. But
yeah.
So yeah, like for sure, like I would like to think that they did the first season, and after that they wanted to make sure it's like a band. You have all these, you've been doing this thing or whatever, you've been doing everything for your first album forever, and then by the time the second album comes out, you're kind of rushing and stuff like that. But I think after they finished that first season, they were able to take stock and say, what do we have? We knew we had something, because when they were first doing it, they were also thinking of doing Stranger Things as like a
anthology,
an anthology series. So it was going to be different, like what they wanted to do with Halloween. How'd that go? But so it was going to just be different sort of stuff like that. Which is, we can talk about it in a bit. But if they end up doing an anthology series, I'd be happy about it. I think you could leave everything in Hawkins. and then just start up your own thing, or a different kind of style thing here, different kind of style thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Do a whole bunch of these things. Who cares? But going into next season, what do you hope to see?
I really hope that, because it's interesting that we're still at the point where only our main characters know about all the upside down stuff, despite the ground literally opening up and hell breaking through. So I hope very quickly next season, like maybe in the first couple episodes, like we get like Demodogs and Demogorgons coming out and stuff. And it's really like, this is not like, we know what we're doing, and we get like a big like town rallying together to try and fend off this coming around 11 and stuff like that. I also hope that they do something with Max, because Max is I think Max is my favorite character on the show.
She was the MVP of the season.
She really was.
She was the most valuable in the entire season this year.
And when she died,
got robbed today. She got robbed today.
She really did. Actually, no. If I had to nominate one person for acting from the show, it would have been Maya Hawke, because I'm like, who plays Robin. She is so good. The speech she gives about like how hard it is being a woman in psychology, even though it's fake and stuff. I turned to my wife while we were watching that, and I said, "This is why talented actors need to reproduce together, so we get more talented actors." Because like Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, like she looks so much like both of them, but also she's just so good. But back to Max, I hope they do something with her that's worth saving her, because I don't know if they're gonna do the like she's now got like a little 11 powers because she got saved by 11, or if because she was dead for a little bit, now Vecna is gonna take over her, and it's gonna be 11. It's gonna be like Max versus 11 at the end.
I had a different idea for that,
but I hope they do something that is worth not killing her.
Yeah, I hope she isn't. You don't get to see how many episodes do they say is going to end this thing? I think it's like six like 5-hour episodes or whatever they're going to do. It's going to be incredibly long. But I hope it's just not her in that bed all the time, and then 11 goes in there and into the darkness of her mind or whatever, because Vecna's taken everything from her. Remember, that's what they say. It takes everything from his victims. It takes their mind and their soul. Everything they ever were and everything they ever will be. So I hope, there's more. There's something that you can pull out there and stuff like that. But I think that Vecna will be back in Hawkins in corporal form, and I think it has to be Will. There's got to be. You could just tell, like you could always feel him. So there's always going to be. It's always like Vecna's been a part of him.
Yeah.
Since the first series, since he took him. So I hope they'll give Will something interesting to do other than just look sad all the time. He just looks sad the entire series. Like, God damn, he's supposed to be one of the main characters.
It's true.
It's gonna be nuts.
Oh, can I
do more with them?
Yeah, I would like that. And I think now that everyone's like back together, and we don't have to deal with like the California and the Arkansas and the Russia.
California.
Now that everyone's back together, including Argyle, who I guess just like came along for the ride and is now there. I'm like, you live in California and you're a high schooler, and you just are like, I'm going to fight devils now. Yeah. Like, all right.
Yeah. He's high as shit. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly. I really am excited, and I think you're right that they're going to do more with Will and some of those characters who we may have thought were underserved. Just because they don't have to focus on so many different areas of stuff. Can I ask though? So one of the big things going on the internet in terms of Stranger Things, before we move on, and we talk about the spinoffs quickly.
Yes.
Nancy. She is who is she going to end up with, Rob?
Oh boy. I don't. Do I see her and Steve together or her and Jonathan together? Yeah, I think everyone would love it to be Steve, but I don't think so. I think it'll probably. Well, you know what? It might be Steve, but it's going to be because Jonathan dies. They're gonna pick a bunch of these guys off. I guess it's one of the thing that the cast has been saying. Not enough of the main characters been killed. So I think they're gonna do a Game of Thrones and just, or Harry Potter and just start calling.
Did you see?
Okay, you can go.
Did you see what the Duffer Brothers tweeted out in response to people saying that not enough main characters died this season?
What's that?
They said this is Hawkins, not Westeros.
All right.
And I'm like, good for you. But Rob, I asked you that only so that I could say something maybe off the wall.
Okay. I'm going to say, I think it's going to be, if he is alive, Jonathan.
I think that Nancy is going to end up with Robin.
I like that idea too, and I could see what you're saying, like getting at or whatever, and that would be cool as well. It depends on what's happening with Drum Girl. It looks like they were getting along in the end, Robin and her.
It bothers me that they both look so similar. I look at them and I'm like, you're the same person. One of you could be the other stunt double.
Oh, Nancy I don't know. Nancy just seems like, whenever I see her, I think she just looks so small. She looks like,
But she had a great Sarah Connor moment this season with that shotty.
Oh yes,
that was great.
Oh my god, how about that fight too? Oh my god, like Lucas and that Jock or whatever. So I thought there was so much good stuff in the season.
Oh, it was so good, and it kept me going. Where Lucas, I thought was going to get killed by the Jock, and I was like, how crazy would it be if someone dies not via upside down magic, but just regular human gun? And I was like, that's so messed up.
Speaking of death, you can't talk about Stranger Things without talking about Eddie and how much that kid was like half of my friends in high school.
We have contact.
Oh, what? I think what? Oh my god, that doesn't. I don't know if that's him.
Daniel H. I don't know. That could be Daniel Haas.
Yeah, that could be anybody over at Disney or whatever. It's
or Duffer Brothers.
What is your password? What is your password?
Disney's in America. Why are they Russian?
It's love TV. Love TV.
Buffy,
and now they're him.
Buffy 123. Buffy 123.
Buffy 123. Maybe they just guessed it.
But
it's just password. Oh my god, he is in the Upside Down.
Oh my god. But do we want to talk about the spin-off shows quickly?
Well, they could be.
What they could be. Have they announced what they're actually gonna be, or
no? The only thing that they announced from this deal is that they'll be doing the Talisman for Netflix. So I don't know much about the Talisman. I think it's one of the only Stephen King things left from the 80s that hasn't been put out into a movie or a television show yet. And I know that Lucas was reading it in the last couple of scenes or whatever there. So it's the only thing I knew about the Talisman. So I'm interested, but again, it's Stephen King, so it's probably scary.
It is probably scary, and the Duffer Brothers obviously are one of those guys who clearly love Stephen King based on all the homages and stuff that they put in Stranger Things. So it'll be interesting to see how they tackle straight up Stranger Things, or not, sorry, straight up the stuff they're referencing.
Yeah.
How they adapt that, because they clearly have a love for it.
What I'm going to take for reference is I also saw the 2 It movies they put out after Stranger Things came out, expecting like a Stranger Things vibe, especially considering Finn Wolfhard was in the first movie and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I think there certainly is similarities with kids fighting a monster.
Yeah.
But the overall tone and stuff like that, you could tell just by tone wise that this was not a Stranger Things movie. So I'm expecting that, but of course it wasn't the Duffer Brothers that did it. So who knows?
No.
Who knows what it's going to? I don't think they can cast anybody from Stranger Things without.
I don't think they will.
They have their they have the cast of characters. So I would, you would think they would, but if you stay away from everybody in the cast, I think you can get away with it just fine.
Now, the thing I'm most excited for with the Duffer Brothers deal is they are also now attached to a. They actually turned down for it. Whatever that means.
Turned down for what?
For it. But no, they are attached to a live action Death Note series, which.
Yes, that's right.
Death Note is probably my favorite anime of all time.
Ooh.
And it's, well, if Daniel was here, rest in peace. He would tell you that,
let's hope.
most of Death Note is your favorite. Don't, then the second half doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's a big change not halfway through, but probably like 2/3 through that, like, oh man, that first bit is what we all remember and it's perfect. But the tone is like a very serious tone that I think that they could go for, and would be, if they want to do Death Note, I think it's because they're fans, and I'm really excited to see them tackle that, because the movie was terrible.
Oh, there was a movie?
There was a live action
movie?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe voiced the demon in it. Yeah.
Oh.
It was much more Final Destination than anything else.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I've seen some of the Death Note cartoons. I actually know what you're talking about this time. I actually have a point of reference, because I once upon a show, long time ago, I had something called Snark's Midlife Crisis, and one of the first things I had to do was watch a anime series. I'd never watched any of them before.
Yeah,
that was one of the ones I liked. I liked a show called Food Wars. And one thing I always thought that those shows were a little rapey. Those anime shows get a little rapey.
Okay, well, Food Wars,
pretty uncool. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Death Note isn't like that though.
No, but Death Note doesn't like
Food War. No, Food War is a very sexualized show. But
it's good. But
yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about with the Duffer Brothers Netflix deal, or do you want to?
I'm just hoping that spin-offs don't, like, if you can do something in the Upside Down that has nothing to do with Hawkins, move away from all the characters and stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna put it into the 90s and stuff like that, do that, but just don't include those characters. Do something else.
It will be interesting if they were to stay in Hawkins. I would almost want to see, like, and hear me out. I would either want to see like a 1620s show, or whenever America was founded.
Ooh,
way back in the day, but I guess, like, did 11 create the Upside Down?
I think she did. I think
so. Or
unless you ripped through time as well.
Stranger Things 2099, where we just go all the way into the future, and it's like,
that'd be awesome too.
It's cyberpunk, but also Demogorgons. That's what I want.
Like it,
because the last thing you want from a spinoff is it just to feel like the show. So I hope they go in a totally different direction.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we don't need How I Met Your Father 2.
That's why Daniel's been taken. He was saying that he was going to keep watching How I Met Your Father. And something was wrong with him.
I was going to kill him if he did that, and I didn't do it. Guys, I'm innocent.
Someone got to him first.
Lucky. If you kept watching it, then lucky.
Oh my God. All right. What's next, Rob?
Let's get your quick thoughts. We're coming up, I guess, on Wednesday is the series, or the season, I guess. I keep saying series like I'm English. The season finale for Ms. Marvel. So I think we'll get into it more next week. I just want to get your thoughts on the series so far. And I'm going to just mention one thing that you said before the season started, when you told me, I think it's going to be a Spider-Man show. And holy shit, did you nail that too?
Yeah.
And I like it maybe even better than Spider-Man shows.
This is...
I love it.
Yeah, I really like the show. I loved the beginning of
he's
it.
in light with it, guys.
Oh crap! I don't want to get taken out like Daniel did, but I'm starting to get a
guys.
little...
This may be the finest television show I have ever seen in my entire life, and I can't think of another one that would ever beat it.
I loved the beginning of this. I loved the all the things that are going on with like the inclusion and getting to see a culture that I don't have a lot of experience with. Yes. I love all of that. And what I was saying about it being a Spider-Man show, this is what I've always wanted a Spider-Man movie to be. Just like, because like, you know, people say that Homecoming and stuff is like, oh yeah, those are high school movies and stuff. But like, this is high school kids acting like high school kids. And
I thought the movies were more like if what's his name fucking directed Spider-Man, John Hughes. If John Hughes directed Spider-Man, that's what it'd be. This is if Spider-Man was just a live action show. Like this is like the comic book Spider-Man. This is how it should be.
This is how I feel, and it makes me feel a lot better about when eventually we get to like X-Men and stuff, where I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. I love I can't remember her name right now, and that's a huge disrespect to our Canadian sister, because she is fantastic as Miss Marvel. Maybe like one of the most charming people that is on screen.
Maybe my favorite actor in Marvel right now. As soon as she came on the screen, she popped.
She's so great.
That's a superhero. That's like a comic book superhero.
And I really like the whole that they completely changed her origin and everything from the comics. So even though I've read a lot of stuff, like it's still surprising me every time. And I would not be surprised if 5 years from now something happens like what happened with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the comics, where they're like, you know, you guys actually aren't even mutants, you're Inhumans. And it's like, what the that was when Disney didn't own them, mutants. So like, Quicksilver, Wanda, no, you're not actually mutants. But I wouldn't be. Yeah, he was, but you know. But I would not be surprised if in a couple years this origin that they've set up for her in the comics becomes her default origin. But I have been loving
it. They'll retcon it.
Yeah, I just hope it sticks to the landing, because that has been the thing that most Disney shows have suffered from, I think, where they don't quite stick the landing. But if it does, this could easily become my favorite Disney Plus show.
Yes, I was thinking that too. And especially, let's just say Daniel doesn't believe that I like Moon Knight very much. I'm going to say that Daniel would say that I don't like Moon Knight. Daniel would say that I didn't appreciate Moon Knight. I was not a fan of it. That's something Daniel said. He would also say that maybe that I didn't really think that Hawkeye was all that great. So
Hawkeye's actually my favorite one.
Oh my gosh! And then I liked Loki.
Mm-hmm.
I liked WandaVision quite a bit, but I honestly think I'm enjoying watching Ms. Marvel, the best of all the shows that they've done so far. I just think they've been doing a kick-ass job.
It is actually very interesting, and we'll talk. We got the boys to talk about. So
that's it.
We
got a whole show to do.
Yeah,
next week.
But my thing that I've noticed now is there is clearly a formula to these shows. Where have you noticed? Second last episode is always the flashback episode.
Oh, they're doing like a Game of Thrones thing where it's always the second last episode. Is
Because like WandaVision, second last
shit
episode,
happens.
we get to see all her backstory. Second last episode of
Except for no
Loki,
Magneto.
and this second last episode of Loki, we get all the like Kang stuff, all like in the other dimension setup. Second last episode of Hawkeye, we get Yelena. Second last episode of Moon Knight, we get all the mom abuse stuff. And then second last episode of this, we get the great grandma stuff. It's called post shit. That's funny. But I'm really excited.
The new Ghost.
Yeah, and we will talk a lot more about Miss Marvel next week.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe we can get somebody on.
Maybe. But the show just wrapped up. What show was that, Rob?
That show was called My Little Pony, and it was a delight. Oh, that other one,
The Boys.
The boys just ended. Oh my God! Is there a more fun hour of television than The Boys? Right, every single episode was absolute fucking popcorn eating, explosions, gross stuff. There was laughs. So many swear words, guys. So many swear words.
I know you love swears.
Hero-gasm. We got a hero-gasm this year. And Frenchie didn't even get to go.
I loved that. This was in the opposite to my complaint about Stranger Things. I loved how divided and how many storylines we had going on in The Boys.
Right.
Because every single one of them I thought popped and was so interesting to me.
Yeah. And it starts out with such a bang. Like, again, no one does over-the-top grotesque humor better than The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave all the Marvel kids what they wanted. What would happen if Ant-Man just went into Thanos and grew?
Oh my God.
One of the things that's made me laugh the hardest in the last, 10 years. Just when he coughs and boom! So good. It was so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, and Daniel, or whoever's using Daniel's account, because again, Daniel is missing, brings up a great point about how great Jensen Ackles is.
Daniel. Yes.
And him as Soldier Boy, every time he's on screen, I am captivated. And it was during the episode where they go to track down the psychic guy.
Yeah, and where Butcher goes back, like Butcher gets trapped in his mind, in his memories. Yeah.
Oh, another flashback episode for the penultimate episode. Mm-hmm. But in that episode, about a third of the way in, after he shoots the priest in the head, and then the nun afterwards being like, these guys are clearly mind controlled, I paused it and I was like, am I going to sit down and go watch all 72 seasons of Supernatural? Because I love Jensen Ackles. This guy's amazing.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, how am I the only guy who's never seen Supernatural? Not even a single minute of Supernatural. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen Jensen Ackles in a show before. I may be wrong, but if it did, it was just like a supporting role or a guest spot.
He is in the worst season of Smallville, and that's what I know him from.
I didn't see it. I have seen episodes of Smallville. I just haven't watched all the episodes because, again, it was another thing where it's a show that lasted forever, and you miss out on a whole bunch of episodes, and you have to try and get back in. And this is back in the day before you had PVRs. So.
But
I just never went back into it. That's all.
But Jensen Ackles and Soldier Boy, what an amazing addition to the season, and I hope that they find a way to like Winter Soldier him a little bit so that he can be like out and about. Because I think what a waste to just like fridge him again.
That is such a good way to put it, like Winter Soldier, because that's 100% what he did. Because he was like frozen for the last 30 years or whatever and came out the exact same.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the series is over, he's back in the same. He's back in the same one, like
Yeah.
in the same kind of thing or whatever. So they can do it again. So who knows?
It's so interesting because it leaves the season was so fantastic episode to episode. But then if you step back and take a big picture look at it, season starts, it's like we need to get a weapon that can kill Homelander. Got the weapon, it's Soldier Boy. Turns out Soldier Boy's a dick. We can't use him.
The worst.
But so like with all that, if you took just the last episode of season 2 and then someone told you what happened in season 3 and just like in 2 sentences, you really wouldn't have missed much because we're in a very similar place with a lot of the characters, but so much incredible stuff happened this season, from figuring out the boys figuring out about who the head popper was, and that's going to be like a big and Starlight's officially a part of the boys now. And Homelander's got his son, and like so much happened.
Butcher has months to live,
which is very interesting. And I wonder if they're gonna figure out how to get out of that, because they can't kill him.
Nope, you wouldn't think.
No, like I think they're giving him months to live so that they can push him into where his character, and I won't spoil stuff, but where his character ends up in the comics. I think that maybe they're trying to push him in that direction. But it's already been such a big departure from the comics that I can't imagine that that's what they're doing.
Now to the thing, like when we were talking before, that I found out something from the comics that wasn't the same as the show, and you would have known that as someone, who's read some of the comics. But finding out that Black Noir in the comics is just a shitty clone of Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he was in the television show is so much more interesting. And of course they kill him off.
Did they kill him off though? It seems definitive, but he did get disemboweled.
He did get his head sliced up and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what? Never mind. Yeah, he's probably dead. I was like, he just got disemboweled. Stormfront survived, right? So
good. Again, in that first episode, that made me laugh so hard. Seeing Stormfront as Darth Vader, and then still trying to be very, very nice to a Homelander, which is nice.
Yeah, you're right, Daniel. Homelander was holding his heart. Yeah, but I was prepared for Black Noir to become like such a main character because they introduced all the like woodland critters that he could see.
Is that a comic book thing or is that television? Is that television only? Because I really liked it.
You don't get a lot of Black Noir POV in the comics.
Okay.
Because they save he's a clone of Homelander till like pretty much the last run of the books, where Daniel brings up a great point in the chat a while ago that now that Butcher has nothing to lose, maybe he could be the villain for season 4 and 5 and stuff. But I think you got to kill Homelander before you give Butcher the villain spotlight.
You would think.
Yeah. Which,
but if he keeps taking the temp fee as much as he is, how long is he going to last? If they said 3 to 5 doses is like gives you lethal cancer, how many would 8 or 9 doses? What would 8 or 9 doses do to you?
Well, I don't think he'll ever take it. I don't think they're going to take it again unless he's taking. I think the next time we see Butcher with powers, he will have taken. It will be. He would have been. He would have had to take permanent V, because, like, his brain's so fucked up, and I hate that they did this. Where it's like, hey, you take it 5 times, and you got months to live. But Huey only took it 4 times, so he's totally fine.
Did he take it 4 times? I thought he took it 3 times.
I don't know how many times he actually took it, but like he took it essentially one.
I should have went back and counted, but I thought it was just 3. I thought it was there like that first time, and then going for Hero-gasm. He must have been a 3rd time.
Yeah, because he was teleporting.
He took it when he went to Mesmer's, right?
Yeah, and you don't know, like maybe he took it another time and we just didn't see it, but
that's true.
Like he essentially taking it like one less time than Butcher.
So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it only works on children and former ships, but yeah, maybe we'll. Man,
here's the thing.
He's not taking it anymore though, so he'll be fine, Daniel.
The one scene that takes you out of the series for a minute is that scene with Frenchie and Kimiko doing the dance number.
I
loved that. I thought it was fucking amazing. It was amazing.
They set it up in the first episode where Kimiko imagines herself going in and singing while she hears that girl playing piano. Mm-hmm. And I had forgotten that Kimiko didn't speak at all. And I was like, wait, she's talking? This is weird. And then it's revealed that it's not. That's all in her head. But then her and Frenchie having that whole big dance number, I'm like, this is fantastic. And I wish more shows were willing to take big swings like that, where just for no reason is like, this is Kimiko thinks we're doing a dance number now. And it's like, that was one of the things that made me really love all the different storylines, where Kimiko and Frenchie storyline was just as interesting, and all the stuff they were doing with Lil Nina and like trying to figure out like what is their morality and what does it mean to be just a fucking gun, as Kimiko said. Mm-hmm. And is that enough for them? So, and then the decision at the end to like go back and like have powers again. Fuck. But that was
the reason she told Frenchie and stuff too is like, "Oh, get you," saying, like, I have it now so I can protect my family and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, so we get her intention now. She's good.
It's so good. And what do you think? We talked about Kimiko. We talked about Soldier Boy, Butcher. What do we think about Homelander and Ryan now being together?
Homelander and Junior?
Yeah.
The sins of the father there, passed to the son. Unbelievable. I'm just more worried about, at the end, him splashing that guy's head all over the town square. And the guy from the lottery commercials, MM's daughter's stepfather.
That's where I know him from. I was trying to figure it out all season. I was like, where is this guy from? And I didn't want to IMDb it because I was like, as soon as I see it, I'm going to know it. But you're so right. He's from the OLG commercials.
Yeah. Yeah, he does lottery. He does the Lotto Max.
Oh, my God.
Dream big. Dream big, guys. Dream big.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, I then go, yeah, and the entire crowd goes, yeah. It's like, oh my God, MAGA has a weapon.
Yeah, and the little kid. Well, I guess he's not a little kid. That kid's probably like 14. But Ryan, that kid that plays Ryan is so good, because that like zoom in that ends the season where he's just like, he's not like out and out smiling, but it's just like a little grin that comes across his face while like, and that slowly comes across, is like so fantastic, because he's seen these two father figures, and like Butcher completely pushed him away, but like he sees Homelander, who is being embraced for doing all these negative things.
Right.
And what effect is that going to have? Oh my gosh. It's so crazy, because will Butcher kill Ryan? Like,
I was thinking exact opposite kind of thing.
Right.
Will Butcher kill for Ryan? Like, if one of the boys has a chance to take him down, does Butcher take down the other? Like, say if MM has a chance, does he take down Mother's Milk?
Yeah, I think it would have to be Butcher. I don't think any of the boys outside of Butcher would be comfortable killing a kid.
Right.
So I think it would have to be Butcher. And it would have to be Ryan is stopping him from killing Homelander in some way.
Yes.
But I don't know if he could do that. But if he did do that, like then truly Butcher is the bad guy, and maybe man, that would be crazy. But I loved this season, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Everyone on Twitter and on the internet being like, wait a minute, is the boys making fun of like politics? And just because all like the like MAGA people and all those storm the Capitol people were like, wait a minute, they're making fun of me now? It's like they have been making fun of you this whole show, guy.
Yeah, I don't think you guys get it.
They did not get it. I saw so much on Twitter of people being like, look at these idiots commenting about the show, being like, wait. Is Homelander the bad guy? And it's like, yes, this whole series.
I saw that too. It's like, what?
So a bunch of idiots didn't even know.
He has an American flag cape. He has an American.
But it's so interesting though with Homelander because he went on such a journey this season with just talking to himself in the mirror and all the stuff with that amazing scene he had with Starlight, where Starlight's like, "Hey, I'm gonna show this video," and it's like, "All right, well, this is what I'll do. You do that, and I'll just destroy the whole celebrity politics." Yeah, but he's like, "I'll destroy everything," and you know what? It wouldn't take me that long. It's like, "Fuck, man, that's so crazy."
I did enjoy when he caught her in Vought Tower. Mm-hmm. And he was telling what he was going to do, and then she picked up the phone and started showing him or whatever, and just backing out, and him just automatically changing into PR mode and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so good. And where are the nominations for shows like this? Drives me nuts.
Nah, people just don't get it. So we talked about spinoffs earlier, and I know we wanted to keep this tight, so we'll only go for a little bit longer. But The Boys before season 4 is getting a spinoff show about it's like X-Men teenage superheroes, like Vought the Next Generation. I don't know much about it, but it's about like
do it Degrassi with superpowers.
It's like teenage soups.
Okay. All right.
So what?
I'm down. I don't care.
I'll be interested to see how that goes and if that ties in at all, because I loved the anime.
Cartoon?
I loved the cartoon. It was so good.
So good.
But
that had a lot to do with Seth Rogen and stuff like that. Again, well, Seth Rogen's producer on the show.
Yeah.
And great cameo.
Great cameo.
Well. Fantastic. And a bang on cameo.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he would take more of a reins in writing it. I know that he kind of hands off when it comes to that kind of stuff, aside from producing it. But I wonder if he would take more of a role as like in the teen kind of. But is it supposed to be a comedy? Is it supposed to be the same kind of tone?
I think it's. I don't actually know that much about it, and I shouldn't have brought it up because I vamp for a minute.
Guys, I could imagine, if they want to do a teenage superhero show, it's just like, imagine if hormones, you put hormones with your superpowers and something, and how up and down teens can be, for God's sakes.
That's not actually what it's called. Is it actually called The Boys Present Varsity? What a freaking name if that's what it's called.
Varsity.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's it seems like they're going with like an X-Men vibe, but like through the lens of the boys.
So who would be like? Would the boss be like someone still from Vought and stuff like that? Would the teenagers be the good guys? Would they be the bad guy?
I think it's going to be one of those things. Like it's going to be imagine this show, but we were following the 7. As but it's not them as teenagers, just like younger people. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how everything is affected through from the top level all the way down. Now,
so is this a show that's coming out next year then?
Yeah, it's filming right now.
Oh my god!
I think it's supposed to come out before season 4 because something we talked about in our chat before was with all these high budget, big CGI shows and also new COVID safety protocols. A lot of shows are taking like 18-month turnarounds. So being able to get this spin-off show in the middle will really help, I think, keep the boys in in our headspace.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was one thing I was wondering. We got, I think the last season came out a year ago in what, January or December? It was a good while before we got this series and stuff like that. So, and I know with things like Stranger Things, the last season doesn't come out till 2024. So
yeah,
there's 2 years until we see it again. So yeah, anytime they can do anything like this, like them putting out that cartoon show was great. Unfortunately, I watched it all in one sitting, so it's like, okay, I'm all done.
Yeah.
But it's my favorite part about Amazon shows is that you get either one or a couple episodes at once.
I love that, yeah.
And then you get you digest it and then go for another week and stuff like that. It's like, guys, I'm a big boy. I can handle waiting a week. Like, I don't care. Like Stranger Things, I have to watch it all at once, and it's like, great. Now it's done. Damn it.
Well, just back to the boys before we wrap up. What do you want to see from season 4?
Well, I'd like to see one of the boys has got to go. They're starting to collect people now.
Well, they got rid of Maeve, because she lost all her powers.
But she wasn't a boy. She was part of the 7.
Yeah,
I'm talking, Frenchie, MM. I don't see how Huey can go.
Huey can't die.
No, but Butcher, who knows? Starlight being there now, who knows? Who knows? But there's. I think it's time to raise the stakes on the team of good guys, because they seem to have gotten through these past few seasons intact. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, Jeffrey D. Morgan. Well, he can leave his bat as long as he leaves his bat at home. He can grab his he can grab a cigar. He can be like the comedian again. That'd be great. But if it's anything like Negan, no thanks.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think it's gonna be Frenchie that goes.
Yeah,
because I don't see them killing off Kimiko, and
now they can't.
Yeah, and there's so much story, I think, with Mother's Milk, given the lottery guy.
He this year, so good. MM was a hell of a job this year.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was also in Supernatural, apparently.
Oh, and all those guys do, like. Oh, okay, and the boys is done by. The boys are done by Supernatural guys, right?
Yeah, it's the same guy that did Supernatural. Daniel, this is why you can't leave, because me and Rob don't know anything about Supernatural.
Yeah, you got to get back from the upside down. We're not going to go in and save you. No, here's the thing: we are not heroes.
No,
we are what the laymen call cowards, and so we're just going to hang out and hope for the best.
Speaking of heroes, I would really like the next season to very early on. I'd like to see the Deep and A-Train and all of Vought completely turn against Homelander, because I think everyone's been so destroyed by him that I think we need to set, now that Homelander is full on MAGA, stuff. I think it would be really interesting to see them try and rise up and form a resistance, and that sets Homelander completely off.
I can't see it being the Deep. The Deep would be a tough sell, seeing that last episode showed that painting of
that's true
Homelander with the Deep kind of penciled in and stuff like that. I love the stuff with the Deep's wife all year.
Yeah,
so good, especially that. I can't remember the name of the book or whatever, but
In Too Deep.
In Too Deep.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
I really want A-Train, I think, was one of my stand-ups this year, and I would love to see him betray. I think he still needs to die because of what he did to Robin in the first season.
I don't see how that heart's going to help him out, but anyways.
Well, it's a new heart that doesn't have all the steroid use and stuff from before, and it,
we'll see.
Yeah, but I would love to see them. I think if we can really focus on Victoria Newman and stuff and the head popper situation next season with the boys, but then while that's going on, see the Vought side of things just completely crumble, and then let's see that, and then have season 5, 6, Homelander and Butcher just really scorched earth.
Yeah. We've got to come up with something. You can't, again, I think that's only a complaint about Superman. It's what are the stakes? You can't defeat him. You got to find something that was fun to, when you would see Homelander's nose would bleed this year. And you're like, oh shit. All right.
I think Starlight is actually going to be the thing that is able to kill Homelander. Because they had that power-up scene that Huey was able to do, and that she was strong enough to, for a moment, incapacitate Soldier Boy.
Right.
So if there's a way that they can keep powering her up, I think we could see Starlight being the person that takes down Homelander.
Well, that she's got to be the one to take down the Deep too. Has to. When the Deep goes, it's got to be Starlight.
Yeah, what? I think the Deep might just kill himself, honestly.
How about that octopus? It's so good.
Oh my god.
So every time, you talk about the show or whatever, and then you start talking about another character and you just think of something back.
My wife has only seen one scene of the boys, and it's where 2 scenes. She has seen where he's fucking the octopus. And then before that, the only scene she had ever seen was when he had to eat Timothy. So as far as she's concerned, the whole show is just all about octopuses.
I like it. It's an aquatic adventure.
It's an aquatic adventure. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Enough. So good. So, can you imagine? We might have to wait 2 more years for another episode of The Boys proper. But if we get that, I'm very excited. I didn't know. I had no idea about this spin-off show until you just
told me. Well, I'm glad I could brighten up your day.
Well, Oh my God. So Daniel.
Yeah.
She's seen one and it's a hero-gasm. Oh my God. Oh, poor Mother's Milk.
Poor guy.
He just he had a rough year. He had a rough year.
He did. He was the person, despite having the biggest connection personally to Soldier Boy. He didn't have a lot to do this season.
No.
But I hope now that the lottery guy is more. That's all I'm going to refer to him as now.
Yeah, sure.
Is now that he's fully out and out and cheering at Homelander doing murders and stuff. I think we'll get a lot more family drama with MM next season. So
he's going to do something to that boy.
I think Frenchie and Kimiko, they had their chance. They had their big season this year, and I think they're probably going to take a little bit more of a backseat next year for people like MM to rise up.
You think there's going to be anything to do with the Russians again? You think the Russians are out for a while?
I think we're done with the Russians.
I don't think there's much left for them to do, right?
No, because wait, is Little Nina still alive? Did she?
I believe so.
Then there's probably something to do with Little Nina.
Yeah, the rest of them, not so much.
Yeah.
But she's still going. So I guess there's at some point you're going to be able to catch up with her, or Frenchie will do something. So it's got to be some story for him to do, rather than hide behind Kimiko.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right. End of the show. Dave, thank you for joining us in corporal form.
It was a pleasure to come on, and I was glad that I could fill in for Dan wherever he may be. No taco. Daniel did not get taller. He got kidnapped.
Right. Yeah, he's in the visible. So.
But
he is. Yeah, he may be in the Upside Down. He may be under Cinderella's castle. Who knows?
we don't know. There are a lot of suspects, and we will be bringing you the latest as we find out more about Daniel's whereabouts.
Yeah, I'm just hope we don't get mailed a piece. And if we do, oh my god.
Anyway, Rob, what's going on with you, and where can people find you?
You're gonna find me, you guys. You're gonna find me right here on Tuesdays. And have you seen this? Looks like we can be showing up at a more fairly regular schedule again, as long as all of us have not been, abducted by major entertainment companies. So that's your regular old Tuesday, 7:00. You can find me at Snark Yeti on Twitter if you like someone who does a lot of nothing except for like other people's stuff. And I do some stuff over at LGR. You can follow their Patreon if you'd like, and you can get more me. Other than that, I'm off to Vegas this weekend to watch a soccer match.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yes, ooh, yes. So yes, and Rob Clark in 100-something degree heat. It's gonna be great.
Wow.
It won't be. How about you?
Oh, you can follow me at Leaves Me Alone, but more importantly, follow the channel at Northern Entertainment Group if you haven't already. We got shows here all the time. Here every Tuesday. I'll be here now for the foreseeable future. We got countdowns with Ben and Matt. 50 still doing the greatest show in the galaxy. Coming up near the beginning of August, we will be ranking Phase 1 of the MCU to coincide with She-Hulk. Because there's too many MCU movies to do all of them at once.
That's true.
But if you're looking for me out on the streets and you're in Toronto, I will be in Toronto tomorrow going to see The Cursed Child.
Lucky!
I know. I'm very excited. Got some tickets and dressing up as a Slytherin, Slither.
Ooh.
Anyway, but that is where you can find me. Don't come find me on the streets. But if you're in Toronto,
Probably
I'm on the streets.
Higher than Prisoner of Alcatraz, but anyway.
Rob, that was months ago. Get over it.
I can't.
All right. You gotta do the sign. You gotta do the sign off now, man.
Do we have a sign off, guys? Until next time, we'll bid you a good week.